Okay, back to the show. So while we were sleeping, like the movie, like you mentioned, some bombshells dropped.
The first of which is one of the biggest and truly the dumbest bombshell that I've ever seen dropped. I knew this was coming for a little while, and I thought this was, first of all, the BBC interview.
Yes.
Is what we're talking about. The BBC interview with...
Randy Andy. The Duke of...
the Dickless Duke. Mr. Sweats.
Buckingham's finest.
Yeah. It is about 45 minutes long. It is made of solid gold. And you should watch it. Like, pause this episode, go watch it.
Yeah, okay. Initial thoughts. One, who let this happen?
So the person that let this happen, his like PR person, quit the next day.
Do you think that was like her exit strategy? Like,
she was
that
like,
would have been...
I'm just gonna fuck this up for Andrew.
Yeah, that would have been kind of amazing.
Inside job?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure that you could have. I mean, if that's how it's like in an interview, I'm not sure that. I mean, my God,
you little PR, kiddos out there,
thin women.
If
she's talking
you
to.
wanna, throw a bomb at your boss and quit in flames, pull an Andrew.
Make him say that he can't swell. Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So it is. I mean, there's so much solid stuff from that. I have to read a quote.
Yes,
though.
Please.
At one point, Prince Andrew is talking about the allegations by Virginia Jeffrey that say that he molested her or raped her 3 times, right? And on one of those occasions, it was this sort of night out with Ghislaine and Jeffrey in London, with dancing and drinks, and then going back to Ghislaine's townhouse. And Virginia Jeffrey describes him as incredibly sweaty. He's a sweaty man, and you can easily picture this. And
yeah, he's a disgusting
If
pig.
you look at that picture of him from the night, the man is practically glistening.
Yeah, there's all those photos of him like with a bunch of
young girls,
also glistening women, where he's just got like wasted party face.
He's clearly on ecstasy.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Yeah, look up Prince Andrew party pics, and you will see a lot of.
It's like real Brazzers hours.
Yeah. So this is what Prince Andrew says. There's a slight problem. I'm going to say this in an old voice. There's a slight problem with the sweating. Although you really got to listen to him say it, because he sounds less convincing than I do. There's a slight problem with the sweating. I have a peculiar medical condition. I didn't sweat at the time because I had suffered what I would describe as an overdose of adrenaline in the Falklands War when I was shot at, and it was impossible for me to sweat. And it's only because I have done a number of things in the recent past that I am able to starting to be able to do that again. So I'm afraid that there's a medical condition that says I didn't do it. Amazing strategy. I mean, this puts the Dan White
the Twinkie defense
to fucking, it puts it to bed and puts a bullet in its head.
Yeah.
The man is saying that it is impossible, not only just impossible morally, but physically impossible for him to have committed this heinous crime, because in the victim, the young child's memory, he was sweating. But in fact, due to a medical condition that he literally made up, I believe, while he was telling the story, that is actually impossible. The whole story is preposterous because if that detail is incorrect. That detail, by the way, is clearly correct. He's just lying here.
So, a couple questions, Dr. Brace. Is it possible to not sweat?
Well, let me quote a Dr. Mark Lupin, a dermatologist, blah, blah, blah.
You had that on the ready.
Yeah, I had that because this question was coming. Anyways, this guy's a dermatologist at the University of British Columbia. He says, it is implausible to the point of being impossible that an overdose of adrenaline could cause a persistent inability to sweat. There are no human studies, nor is there reasonable science to back up this claim. The claim that an overdose of adrenaline has led to the inability to sweat does not make sense. So there are a few like conditions which make it impossible to sweat. Those are all like really bad conditions and not something that we would like just be learning decades after the fact about Prince Andrew. I mean, it's your body. It's like breathing, right? Like it's exuding all your gunk.
I like the idea that he can't sweat, but he just pants like a dog.
Yeah. Well, I've ever since I heard about antiperspirant, like when I first heard about it, I was like, damn, that's crazy. You can just like not.
Were you in your freshman dorm when you?
No, first of all, I've never lived in a dorm because I never went to college. But
yeah, suck it, nerds.
Mm-hmm, no, really, please, nerds, please suck me. But I'm begging you. So no, I heard about it in middle school. I actually remember where I heard about it. I don't know why, but I had the idea then, and the idea's never fully escaped my brain that I could coat my body in antiperspirant. And then I would just, I would become huge because my body would just swell with human water. Apparently, though, coating your body in antiperspirant does something called death to you.
Yeah. So would you call, okay, so second question, this time not for Dr. Brace, this time for war veteran.
Sergeant Brace.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does PTSD act as a natural antiperspirant?
So I don't know because I don't have it unless I'm about to get canceled, in which case I do have it. To me, I feel like you would start sweating. I mean, I don't know. PTSD does a lot of things to you. But here's the thing. Prince Andrew, if he has PTSD, he is one of the biggest pussies on earth. Because Prince Andrew was not in a combat role in the Falklands War. Prince Andrew was specifically targeted by the Argentinian Navy. Yes, it's true. But they didn't do it very well. And it wasn't exactly like, we're not talking, I mean, I think it was like something like 250 British people died, which is, kind of a lot. But Prince Andrew was certainly not one of them. He was not like I don't think he was a combat helicopter pilot. I think he was near a combat zone, but I think he was just like ferried people or something like that. I mean, they're not going to put this guy in a truly dangerous job.
Right.
The whole country knew he was there. He was being protected. And he's in a fucking helicopter. I'm sorry. If you're in a helicopter and getting shot at, I'm like, you got all this steel around you. You're in the ocean, so if you crash, I'm going to kill you. It's possible he did. I think what is more traumatic is being a serial rapist of children, though. That seems like it would haunt me more.
I would think that. I would also like to say that I don't want any possible veterans listening thinking that we're downplaying that in, let's say, any other situation. But I do want to put a little point on the Falklands War.
Yes, this was
this is not
Falklands
Britain's
War.
Vietnam.
No, this was like Britain's. I'm not actually sure I can recall another war being fought over a tiny island. But then again, I am no Stephen Ambrose.
Yeah, it's not even a I don't know.
So the Falklands are a little island off the coast of Argentina that the Brits have. I really did not care enough. Like, I've known about the Falklands War for a long time. This is the extent of my knowledge. British island that they claimed in their empire heyday. There were still just people living there because no one, I guess, really thought about it. Argentina was like, that actually is our island, which kind of have more claim to it than Britain. Invaded. Britain came back. Also re-invaded. Britain eventually won.
Yeah.
And it was like 2 months.
Yeah.
Or 2 weeks, I can't remember. Not a long time.
Yeah, not really not a huge conflict.
So his whole thing is that he has lost the ability to sweat, but it is actually due to this sort of hard work he hints at, he has regained this ability.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of therapy that entails.
So here for our little careful listeners here, what you can do is you can actually test this on Prince Andrew.
Oh, I like this.
Do a little, what I call a medical procedure. If you catch where I'm going with this. Much like one Ronald Reagan had.
All right.
Yeah, Liz is your Jodie Foster.
Hey.
What? She's hot.
All right, let's get back to the...
Okay, so another thing he was pretty adamant on, and I saw this coming, is that that photo, the aforementioned photo of you can look this up, of Prince Andrew in Ghislaine Maxwell's townhouse with his arm sort of around Virginia Jeffrey's waist, and Ghislaine, sometimes the photo is just like cropped without Ghislaine in it. Sometimes you get Ghislaine sort of standing with her arms crossed and smirking in the background.
That ugly ivory sweater.
I think it's beautiful.
Ugh,
Ghislaine Maxwell, terrible. One of the most beautiful women to ever.
I hate this bit.
I'm sorry, this bit sucks. She's so busted. But I'm just trying to be nice in case some of our listeners look like that.
Okay.
None of them do.
I'm just saying that cowl neck ivory sweater, it's not a good look on her.
She's the anti-Deanna.
Or anyone.
So he is saying, and this was floated before, and whenever you hear people be like, sources close to this person say, or like close friends of this person say such and such, that is that person talking. Or at least
their PR person. Yeah, totally.
More likely their PR team, or like literally as this source. So sources close to Prince Andrew were being like, when that photo sort of first started making the rounds, were like, actually, that could be fake.
Right.
And then Prince Andrew, in one of the most really just fantastic, brutal series of stutters, also in so many careful words, is like, that photo is fake. He's like, so, that photo could be real, but we really can't prove that it's fake. Like, we're looking into, he phrased it like this. He was like, we're looking into whether it's been doctored. Like, he's on the side of truth. And like, I want to get to this, to the bottom of this as good as anybody. But he's very careful in saying it, but you cannot leave without the impression that he says, that is not my hand, and that the photo's been doctored. Before, his excuse was, my fingers are much less fat than that.
Well, I just think it's like, okay, so they put your head on someone else's body, but they forgot to edit the hand?
Or like,
do you know what I mean?
He's like not even denying it's him there, really. He's sort of denying it, but he's really just focusing on sort of scuttling the hand as evidence. He's like, okay, that could be me, but that's really not my hand. And so I think what he's going with this, if it's the hand's fake, then the whole picture's thrown into doubt. But he doesn't have the audacity to say that the whole picture is fake. That makes any sense.
Right, but I'm just saying that if the hand is fake, that means that the photo was doctored, but the part that was doctored is not the hand.
Wouldn't they just like doctor a picture of him like having sex with a child? Like, why would they do it like, look, he could have done it here?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously him.
It's clearly, yeah.
Real.
And the person that provided the photo is Virginia Jeffrey, who is sort of been the main witness in all this. I mean, she's accusing him. She's accusing him, and Virginia Jeffrey has been nothing but honest this entire time. There's absolutely no reason to doubt this. She's not. I don't think she's not seeking money from Andrew. It's not like. She's literally just as like, she runs a fucking child abuse foundation. She's like, she obviously cares about this issue, and she was abused by this guy.
Also, what year was that photo allegedly released? Like 2000, because it's been around for a while. Yeah,
it's been around for quite a while. Yeah, it's been floating around for, I mean, I can check right now.
It's okay.
Okay, I'm not going to check, but it's been floating around.
But it's been a while, and my point is that Photoshop skills, they weren't that great back then.
No, not at all. And like also just like I've seen a lot of Photoshops in my time. This looks real. I mean, he does have little sausage fingers, but also, sorry, the rest of Prince Andrew's body is also fat.
Yeah. Okay. So now we need to get to point 3.
This was 2001.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, 2001.
2001. Do you know what Photoshop looked like back then? Mm-hmm. Do you know what, like,
I know
Kim Kardashian's
Two
tan?
Towers out of existence.
We didn't even have real tan. Everything was orange.
Yep.
The technology did not exist.
Yeah, it's just amazing now.
Yeah, this is like the time of like Clippy in Microsoft Word. We did not have good ass Photoshop.
Yeah. Also,
this is not a deep fake.
What is the purpose of this Photoshop? It's to make the guy that everyone knows is an insane pervert look perverted? Yeah. Like, there's other photos of Prince Andrew doing shit.
Okay, so you brought up the sausage fingers. I want to get to my point 3, which is we need to talk about Andrew's neck.
So, from what I understand, the neck is the thing that connects the body to the head, right? Am I missing something?
Oops. Young Chomsky's the resident medical expert.
Mr. Chomsky, does the neck serves the purpose of swiveling the head, or just as a connector, or some sort of, it's like a hanger for your body is the coat and your head is the thing that goes on the hanger thing?
There are muscles in the neck.
Does a neck, what if it has no muscles?
Yeah.
If your neck has no muscles, then you can't turn your head.
Would you be like a rubber chicken and like you can sort of, because from what I took a detailed examination of every frame of this interview with Prince Andrew. And at no point does it appears like somebody took all of the stuff out of his neck, all of the bones, all of the muscles, all of the meat, all of the veins. And there's just this layer of skin sort of functions as a turtleneck that he can descend in and ascend from at will.
Yes. Yeah, it is like, and as the interview goes on, watch the neck, because it just starts to kind of envelop the bottom half of his face. There
is no way to break Prince Andrew's hyoid bone, because it's clear that he doesn't have a hyoid bone.
Yeah, I mean, it's really remarkable.
What he looks like, and I hate to be so crude, he looks like he is an uncircumcised penis.
Yeah, I almost said it, but I didn't think it was appropriate or on brand for me to say such a thing.
Like around me?
Just in general.
I would take, that wheat's Jewish. Sound like Jeremy Corbyn.
It's like he's wearing a cowl neck of his own skin.
Yeah, and you can see when he grows frightened.
Yes,
he descends into the bowels of his neck.
Some kind of prehistoric animal.
Yeah, I mean clearly
microbe.
Centuries of incestuous fornicating has so malformed the males of this family that they almost appear to be let's just say other than human, neo-human.
Yes.
But he has stepped down.
Yes, and as has his neck.
Yeah. So yeah, his PR person quit the day after the interview, and then he kind of quit later.
Yeah. So okay, I've got a couple questions. I don't understand what it means to step down as Prince. Like, he's still getting financial compensation.
Yes,
which is quite a lot, from my understanding.
The royal family takes in at least $10 million a year, which is, I think, 65... Or no, it might be more than that. They take in 65 cents from every British taxpayer per year.
65 pence.
Cents is a pence. It's just American slang for it.
Yeah, I think Andrew takes in about £2 million a year.
Yeah, I mean, he also has all these sort of other scam deals going.
Yeah. But so it's like his entire princely life will still be completely funded. He just is not. He doesn't get any of the regalia.
Well, I mean, he's not too great with money. Remember that actually Jeffrey Epstein had to bail out his wife Fergie, who, by the way, stands with him, says he's an honorable man.
I mean, what is Fergie gonna do?
Yeah, I do think it's rather unbecoming of a prince to have banged the chick from the Black Eyed Peas. No. But then I remember I also had sex with her, so it's not that weird. Yeah, Fergie stands with him.
Okay, whatever. I mean, I'm surprised actually, because if I know Fergie,
which she does,
I do, is she loves a headline.
Yes.
So I wouldn't be surprised if old Fergie trots out another memoir. I think she's written about, 18 at this point. Trots out a little memoir next year about how she is so scorned from the fallout of Andrew's Epstein revelations.
So for our democratic socialist friends out there, this is something you'll be interested in. You can find really good pictures of Fergie getting her feet rubbed. I know that's a big thing with you guys. If you just Google Fergie foot rub, there's
Sarah Ferguson. You want to get the right Fergie?
Yeah, Sarah Ferguson foot rub.
God knows what's out there with the other Fergie.
Scintillating pics. But yeah, he stepped down, put out this stupid fucking thing. It was like, it's been a distraction. He actually floated the idea of a second interview for about 2 days.
Oh my God, I wanted it so bad.
I'll get it. I'll talk to him. We'll get him on the pod.
I just love that he had people in his life that were like, I don't know. That could be an okay idea.
I think the Queen actually encouraged him to do it.
So do you think that? Okay. Another question.
All right, Liz's royal thinking cap is on.
Full of questions today. Prime Minister's Question Hour, right here, TrueAnon headquarters. Do you think the Queen is doing a little queenly trickery?
Oh, you think she's doing possibly some of that old
Like, do you think she's encouraging him
magic?
because it looks terrible?
Oh, because
this is
she
like
wants why?
Just further distance
She doesn't like him.
from any royal connections.
Maybe. I will say that he is Mommy's little boy. I mean, he's not the favorite. They did go horseback riding the day after he stepped down.
Yeah.
So possibly she was like,
she was getting in the whole...
yeah, maybe she was riding him around the old Buckingham Palace.
Okay.
If you know what I mean.
Ew.
Right into the bearskin rug. Yeah, it could be. I mean, who knows what the maneuvering of these fucking perverts is. But yeah, maybe she was like
it did come
muscling
out that
him out of the way.
Princess Beatrice, his daughter,
Yep.
was the one that encouraged him to do the first interview.
Yeah.
And
well,
now
she was
she's
part of
in tears over how Andrew handled it. Beatrice is set to get married.
Was she the one that was going to do? Oh, and now this'll cast a shadow upon our wedding.
Of course.
Well, never fear. She's marrying me, and I am a seasoned anti-pedophile crusader. Was she the one that was going to do the podcast about human trafficking?
Yes.
So, yeah, we've covered this in another episode, but yeah, let us remind you that when this news broke, and in fact...
No, it was Eugenie.
It was Eugenie, yes. Yeah, anyways, his other daughter was going to do a podcast about human trafficking. That's another one of our fucking enemies down. So glad I photoshopped that picture.
Two sides of the Prince Andrew family coin right there. Mm-hmm. Encouraging the pedo, not encouraging the pedo.
You should prorogue that guy's life. If you know what I mean. Yeah, so it is... damn, Royals.
Yeah,
finished.
It's pretty fun. Yeah, I encourage everyone. There's new breaking news every day. Just check our favorite little rags from across the pond, the Mirror and what's the other one?
I like all of them. They're all
Telegraph has a bunch
all
of
like
shit.
the Daily Telegraph of London Mirror.
Yeah, the Mirror. Yeah, Star.
The Daily Mail.
Daily Mail, of course, the creme de la creme. The Daily Mail, love you, Daily Mail.
You can it's weird. They have really good libel laws there, but also you can just make up whatever you want. It's a really great system. Yeah, I'm not sure. Remember when they were saying that Jeremy Corbyn was a spy for Czechoslovakia?
I mean,
that was a little. I mean, that would be great if he was. Do not get me wrong, but that was like, that's a maybe little.
Yeah, but just keep checking in with those little rags because they're dropping little gems every day. Mm-hmm.